You know what's so interesting to me is sometimes I watch these videos and people say I was doing this bit of work and I was recording and lost all the content, and I think, how do you manage to lose all the content? What are you on about? Well, I lost all of the content for the intro and all of that sort of stuff for this, but this was the day that this was actually the day before my greenhouse was coming. I had to get rid of this big holly bush or tree. It kind of just grows every year, and because the greenhouse is going to sit in front of it, I thought at some point when it gets overgrown I'd have to take it down, and I wouldn't have the space to take it down, which is a shame because I do like it and I normally just trim it back every year, but I wouldn't be able to do that with the greenhouse where it sits right in front of it. That's done. I'll clean up all the rest of that another day. I was just running out of time, to be fair. I only realised that I had to do that. A fella turned up. He did a fantastic job apart from the time that I was out there chewing his ear off, and he was probably thinking, I just want to get this over and done with. He came at around just before 7:30 in the morning, and he was done by, I want to say, about 11 o'clock. I think he was done maybe just after 11. Now, I know this would have took me 2 days minimum to put up on my own, but when you've done 100 of them, it gets a little bit easier, which is what he was telling me. So I left him to it, supplied a chin wag every now and again and a few cups of coffee, and let him crack on. Anyway, I'll leave you to watch the rest of this little what do they call these, time lapse, and then I'll catch up with you in a little while. Look at that beauty. This is only 4 foot 5 by 6'5". It's glass. I went for glass because it's at home. And if they'd allowed me to have one at the allotment, I probably would have gone for polycarbonate. Just because it's cheaper and it's not here. And also the damage, I obviously not there all the time. It's in line with my 2 beds. I managed to keep those, which is awesome. I didn't think I was going to be able to necessarily because of the gap between this and my little summer house. Other bits and pieces. So what I'm going to do in here, if you want to step inside, I'm just going to plant seeds in here. Ooh, it's nice and warm. Already you can feel the difference. Wow. And what I'll probably do is have a walk along section in the middle, shelves either side, and I think I'm going to have little raised beds either side as well that I can plant in. So the idea will be, and I've just bought those, the shelves, not the ones, not the, what do they call it? Is it succession planting stuff? I don't know. Not the ones that are actually, not the more expensive ones, to be fair. The cheaper ones will actually work. The cheaper ones will actually work a little bit better for me, because I'll be able to take the shelving trays out and then plant in them stuff that can go through them. So if I plant cucumber, sorry the light there, if I plant cucumber or possibly melon, I'm thinking about this year, there isn't a lot of space in here, I know, or tomatoes, it's all stuff that grows high. So it's all stuff that I'll need to grow through the shelving, if that makes sense, rather than the solid timber ones that are, you can lay your trays on and you can do potting on, but you can't remove the top shelf and grow stuff through them. So that's what I'm going for. I did have, you might have seen before, if I step back out of here, I did have a timber went across the back there, if you can see that, just to separate the grass from my little beds at the back, but that's had to go. But however, I'll use this bit of timber you can see lying across here, I'll use that to make my little raised bed. So I'll probably put a timber about here, and that'll be a little raised bed, and another timber here, and that'll be a raised bed, and then the shelves and seedlings will sit on top of that until it's time to plant stuff out. I'll plant stuff out, and during that time, the stuff that I plant in these raised beds will start to grow through. Dastardly plan. He didn't use the little, you know, these little, I can't explain, I'll have to put a picture in at this point, but these little grids along the floor, he suggested you don't really need them, so that's fine. I'm happy with grass. I'll just cardboard, raised bed and compost. I assume, I'll double check, but I assume you just go up to this level here. I assume that's what it's for. It might not be. If that's not the case, then I'll have to timber right the way round. Again, this is anchored in pretty well. All he said he just used some postcrete, so he's anchored that in, and that in, and then they're all concreted in here, and then here. So this shouldn't be going anywhere, and that was probably the thing that I was worried about most with using the polycarbonate, was it disappearing. And in terms of sunlight, I've gambled a little bit, because you know the sun rises at different times and in different places at different times of year. But if you can see, it is now 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and this has had sunlight on it. You can kind of tell, can't you? Yeah, it's had sunlight on it since about 10 o'clock. So this is the optimum place to put it, but I just don't fully remember if this is the I believe it is. In the summer, this is where we'll get the most sunlight, and that's obviously important. If you're ever thinking about getting one of these, make sure you put it in the place that gets the most sunlight, because that's the whole way that they warm up. I'm so stoked. Right, what I'm going to do now is get my timbers cut, I think. My shelving arrived earlier today. Everything's in line. And I'll put my shelves up, I think. Yeah. So, people talk about no dig, and I've avoided it because of cost, really, of providing all of the compost that you need to provide for it. But because of these little areas in my greenhouse, rather than dig in there, what I'll do is I'll put cardboard down and compost the top. I think I've almost got enough compost that I've made here, I think. I haven't checked this year. So that's what I'm going to do. At worst, I'll buy another bag, but I doubt it. I doubt it very much. you watch all of that, but this is them. And as I say, I'll fill the base of these with soil. I'll put that on the bottom. So by the time it's required, I don't know if I've got enough time, to be fair. I've never done no dig before, but by the time I need to plant out, actually I don't think I've got enough time. But anyway, you can see the idea of these shells. By the time I need to plant out, I'll have a medium planting at ground level. As I say, I'm not sure if I will have enough time now, but you get the idea. It'll be there for next year, so I'll get that done a bit later.